How to build a self-sufficient wharf in X4 foundations? A wharf is a special station that allows to build medium and large ships. Differently to a normal factory, you can at least double the profits on produced commodities by selling ships. In fact, for example, if you build a Gorgon Sentinel medium ship, the resources used have an average value over 1.4 million. While if sold to any NPC, wharf or shipyard, it will be paid on average over 3 millions. Every full-equipped medium ship will require 20 minutes to be built. For every building bay, you can make concurrently 8 medium ships at a time. This means that you can make up to 24 medium ships per hour. In order to speed up the building and increase the maximum number, you need to increase the workforce and add some building drones. Anyway, for a self-sufficient wharf, you will need to obtain the required station module blueprints. If you need some help to understand how you can find them all, check the top right corner suggested video. So, the required blueprints are S&M Ship Fabrication Bay, Hull Part Production, Engine Part Production, Antimatter Converter Production, Field Coil Production, Shield Component Production, Advanced Electronic Production, Weapon Component Production, Turret Component Production, Energy Cell Production, Advanced Composite Production, Plasma Conductor Production, Scanning Array Production, Quantum Tube Production, Microchip Production, Superfluid Coolant Production, Silicon Wafer Production, Refined Metal Production, Graphene Production, Antimatter Cell Production, Drone Component Production, Smart Chip Production, Missile Component Production, Food Ration Production, Medical Supply Production, Meat Production, Wheat Production, Spice Production, Water Production, Habitat L, 3-Pier Dock, 3M6S Dock, Container L Storage, Liquid L Storage, Solid L Storage. Also, in order to be able to build ships, you need the respective ship and equipment blueprints as well. To acquire every single blueprint available in this game for ship and equipment, you need over 4 billion credits. In case you want to learn what are the best ship and equipment in the game, in order to acquire only this, check the top right corner suggested playlist. Back to the building, the station displacement must be in sector that has the biggest part of all mineable resources. One of the best sectors for this purpose is Trinity Sanctum VII that have them all. Plus, the neighboring sector have the access to the superhighway, but is secondary. In this sector, anyway, the best position is near the gas cloud that will be your main liquid raw material source. The plot sizes depends how you prefer to lay out the station. But anyway, it have to be huge. For station modules, I suggest to start from 3-Pier Dock that will allow your large mini ships to dock and deposit the raw materials they mined. Next is a good practice to add at least 2 3M6S dock in order to allow also access to the medium mining ships as well. For the basic version, 1 container L is enough. While for the energy cell production, you will need 2 of them, required for all factories and shipbuilding as well. At this point, you need a solid L storage for the metal raw materials. Follows 2 silicon wafer refineries for silicon, 2 refined metal for the ore, and 1 water production for ice. Next, you need in one liquid storage for the gas raw materials as well, plus 2 graphene refiners for the methane, 1 antimatter cell for the hydrogen, and 1 superfluid coolant for the helium. For the ship chassis, you need a hull part production. For the engine and the thrusters, you need in 1 engine part production and 1 antimatter converter production. For the last one, in order to produce, you also need 1 advanced composites and 1 microchip productions. For the shield, you need in 1 field coil production. This one requires also to produce 2 plasma conductors and 1 quantum tube production. Also, for the shield building, you will need shield components as well. As a result, you need in the respective shield component production module. The shield components need also in quantum tubes and plasma conductors as well, but the previous placed modules are enough. For the weapons, you will need in 1 advanced electronics production. In order to sustain this factor, you need to add another microchip production. For the weapons, you need also 1 weapon components production. Next ship part is the turrets that require advanced electronics already built for weapons and 1 turret components production. For the last production is required different other materials, but at this point you have them all except for scanning arrays. In fact, you need 1 scanning arrays production. For medium ships also they can carry few drones, for which production you need in 1 drone components and 1 smart ships production. Last mine ship components is the missiles, that require 1 missile components and another smart chips production in order to produce at least 100 missiles per hour. Time to add the fabrication bay for the small and medium ships. In order to increase the efficiency of all production modules and decrease the shipbuilding time required, you need also inhabitation modules. For actual setup, you need in 7 habitat L. For workers, also is a good practice to produce medical supply and food ration by yourself. If you want to do so, add 3 medical supply and 2 food rations production. Medical supplies to produce require in 1 spices and 1 wheat productions. While for the food rations you will need also 1 meat production. This is all for the basic version that can produce up to 3 medium full equipped ships per hour. Now, time to hire a builder that will execute the construction. Leave enough funds required to buy the building materials and confirm the construction plan. It will require a few in-game days, if not weeks, to finish the building, so it's better you set a device to speed up the process. If you don't know what is it set or how to craft it, check the top right corner suggested video. Remember that after specified modules build, you need to execute several actions, and they are: once 3M6S dock done, to assign a manager to the station. Once container L done, to restrict trading with other factions for superfluid coolant, graphene, silicon wafers, refined metals, quantum tubes, plasma conductors, advanced composites, microchips, scanning arrays, hull parts, smart chips, meat, spices, wheat, engine parts, water, antimatter cells, antimatter converters, drone components, weapon components, medical supply, food rations, turret components, shield components, missile components, field coils, and advanced electronics. After solid L build, to do the same with silicon, ore and ice. When the respective refineries are constructed, assign at least 5 large or 10 medium mineral miners to the station. Then, when the liquid L storage is done, restrict trading with other faction also for helium, methane and hydrogen. Follow the construction of respective refineries that requires the assignment of other 5 large or 10 medium mining ships, this time for the gas category. The last action is required when the building bay is done. For this one, you need to assign also ship dealerships that will unlock the build ship function. And to finish, if you want to manually choose which ships to build and to which faction to sell them, you need to restrict orders from other faction also for ship fabrication. At this point, your wharf is fully functional and ready to make some ships for you. But in this version, it's capable to produce only 3 to 5 medium full-equipped ships per hour, and the resources are bad balanced. To fix this problem, you need to upgrade to the advanced version your wharf if you want to build at least 10 medium full-equipped ships per hour, or to advanced version if you want to increase it to 25 or more. The advanced version requires more raw material resources, that means that you probably will need to use more mining ships. This is why you need to add another 3 per dock if you use large miners. You need also more cargo space for final and intermediate production. Other 3 container rail can do this work. Another solid L storage and 1 liquid L storage will help to prevent lack in raw resources while building a lot of ships. For the refineries, you need in 1 refining metals and 1 plasma conductors production, while for the energy cells you will need 2 extra productions. The medium ship that uses the biggest part of resources is the Gorgon Sentinel frigate. It requires 1248 hull parts. To produce 10 times more per hour and have enough to produce all higher tier resources, you need to add 3 more hull parts productions. For the engine parts, 360 are required for the 3 engines and 100 for the thrusters. As a result, to be able to produce them for 10 ships and provide enough for higher tier resources production, you need to add 2 extra engine parts production. Engines also required 330 antimatter converters, while thrusters need 150 of them. 1 antimatter converter production placed in the basic version is enough to cover the 10 ships per hour cost. The shield required a low amount of field coils and shield components. As a result, you didn't need another production for this type as well. For the weapons, the corvette medium ship carries the biggest count of weapons, which is 5 slots. The most expensive weapon is the torpedo launcher that requires 200 advanced electronics. In order to be able to build it for 10 ships per hour, you need 1 extra advanced electronics production. While to cover 625 weapon components for each ship, you need another 3 weapon components production as well. Back to the Gorgon Sentinel frigate. It can carry up to 4 turrets. The most expensive are BM. This anyway uses only 24 advanced electronics and 40 turret components per ship. Already placed productions module are enough. Software didn't use any resources, it increased only the building time. Next, there are the deployables that are secondary and exceed in resources allowed to take whatever you need. The only exception are the missiles. Biggest medium ships can carry up to 100 missiles. The most expensive are heavy torpedoes that will require 4000 missile components and 3500 smart chips. Only if you want to buy 100 of them on each ship, you need also to add 5 missile components productions and 30 smart chips productions. This is really expensive and time consuming, but missiles are really powerful to make in your own fleet. Like for the software, the crew is free as well, so it didn't require any industry. With this loadout, you also need free extra Habitat L to maintain the efficiently at maximum levels. And for workers, you need another medical supply production. At this point, the advanced version is ready to build 10 or more medium full-equipped ships per hour. In case your position is bad for mining, it's better to add more miners, but the amount depends from the distance to the resources field from the station. Time for the final version that allows to produce over 25 full-equipped medium ships per hour. It will require more mining ships, so add another free pier dock to prevent tiles of your own miners. In order to store as much as possible to make more fluid the ship production, is better add at least other 6 container L storages. To prevent production stops, if miners have some temporary troubles, add 3 extra solid L and 3 liquid size L storages. For the energy cell consumption, you will need to add 2 extra energy cell productions. From the refinery side, you need to add 2 refined metal productions, 1 silicon wafer production, 1 graphene production, 1 superfluid coolant production, 1 quantum tube production, and 1 plasma conductor production, plus 1 microchip needed for fuel ship technology production. For the shipbuilding resources, you need to add 4 hull parts productions, 3 engine parts production, 1 antimatter converter production, 2 advanced electronics production, and 4 weapon components productions. In case you want to equip each ship with 100 best missiles as well, you need to add 23 smart chips productions and 9 missile components production. The upgrade for the missiles is really expensive, so build this upgrade only if you have extra money and the patience to wait that it get built. To finish the final wharf version, you need to add more shelter for the workers. Exactly, you need 5 extra Habitat L. For these new workers, you need also the primary commodities, for which you need to build also 2 medical supply productions and 1 food ration productions. If you have some problems following the steps in this guide, check the top right corner suggested video to learn the building basics. In general, the wharf itself is better than a factory because selling ships will give you a double reward respect to selling their respective resources. Plus, you can be independent from any other faction, building your own ships you need. As a result, you can claim all sectors and destroy all factions you want. Says that time for some profit calculations. To notice that they are based on the 2.0 patch. And in case the prices will change again, in the end of this video you will find the suggested 2 new calculations video. So, the basic version construction cost over 66 millions, providing a production for a value over 7.5 millions that become over 15 millions if you sell ships instead of resources. The expenses covered by your own miners is over 3.3 millions. As a result, with this version you can profit up to 11.7 millions per hour. The advanced version that is balanced better and produces 10 ships per hour has a building cost over 95 millions. providing a production for a value over 9.6 millions from resources or 19.2 millions from ship sell-off. The expenses covered by your own miners rises over 3.6 millions. As a consequence, the advanced version will profit up to 15.6 millions, while the final version building cost is over 150 millions, providing a production for a value over 15 millions from resources or 30 millions from selling ships each hour. Expenses covered by miners rises over 5.2 millions. This means that the final version will generate a profit up to 24.8 millions. Building a wharf or a shipyard gives not only the best money-making machine, but also it gives you the power to decide which faction will be more powerful, balancing and helping the war effort selling final ships. The only problem is make enough money to acquire the blueprints and the resources required to build this wharf. To solve this problem, I suggest you to check the factory's guide in this channel to start make the money required for this ultimate station.